Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Daggerheart, the Broken Spine. We're on episode, I think, 14. How awesome is that? I'm excited.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why you combine them together. It's a whole separate season.
But it's still the same
we didn't
campaign.
recast anybody.
Right.
So?
We have new characters.
We do have new characters. How's everybody doing tonight? Sweet.
Good.
Why don't we do a round of introductions? Jason, tell us about yourself and who you're playing.
Hi, I'm Jason. I'll be playing Astoy tonight, our warrior druid multi-class. He is the mushroom that likes to transform. And I'll go to Triss.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'm Lauren. I play our giant guardian sheriff, Triss, who is in the process of getting a big old lore dump. So let's go.
Excellent. Who'd you like to send it over to?
Oh, right. That's the next part of this. Ryan.
Yeah, I'm Ryan, and I'm playing Nyx, our Seraph. We're going the multi-classing.
Sarah.
Yeah, for now, we'll see. Seems like maybe I should have made a different choice, but I like playing underpowered characters. Apparently, no, I'm I'm happy to be here. I play games, and that's about it. I'll pass it over to Jer.
Hey, I'm Jer. Also known as Jeremy. This here is my channel. You can find me doing things here. Played some WoW earlier, which I haven't done on stream ever, and everyone got to watch me get my butt handed to me by a giant flying manta ray, because that's a thing, right? I am playing Knots, the goblin ranger who we were talking about it. Maybe had some sense knocked into her last time. Granted, it all poured out the other side of her head when she wasn't looking, but we're here today. So, Carly, take it away.
Yeah. Hi guys, I'm Carly Steichen, and I am playing everyone else, including Grace today, as we are missing our lovely Maggie. Well, we left off last time with our group, Inatra, although I'm not sure that's a proper title, given that half the group was not part of that.
The group formerly known as Inatra.
They just discovered that they are in a giant corpse made of some kind of living stone. And we left off with Grace asking the question of, so we're literally in a broken spine.
And Grace isn't here tonight, so that's where we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
They said the thing, roll credits.
Right?
I think Triss will kind of like stand up from where she was inspecting the stone and turn around and be like, if you want to be gross about it, I guess, though if it was at one point living, it has not been for a very long time.
I mean, I don't know. When I was touching this here, I don't know if it's living or dead or what, but it felt connected. If that makes sense.
Perhaps it's petrified. It makes sense why my people's predecessors would have been able to work it like we do wood. Petrified organic material with the appearance of stone.
I don't know. All I can say is when I was touching it, I put a bit of, life and death magic into it. And I could feel almost like a fungal network.
Interesting.
but it was gigantic.
None of our myths or stories speak to that at all, so any ideas that I might have are just
I don't know. You're the
that.
one that seems to know the most about it so far.
To be honest, I've said about just about everything that I know. And again, it's from my legends my people have told for generations and generations.
Stoy smirks when you say that and looks at Knots and seems to like hold back a joke.
It is funny when you look at Knots because while the words have been being said, still holding on to Kavoon, she still has that one hand, just fingers wrapped in his fur. She's like leaned over to a wall or whatever the nearest like tall enough object is, and she's like, and she just licks the wall. And you probably catch her like mid lick, and she just looks at you, holds, and then stands up straight. What does the wall taste like?
Yeah, the wall tastes. I mean, the first taste that you get is like the taste of like stone. You know, that like kind of grainy, wet, non-taste taste. But as you like let it sit for a second, there's a something strange about it. Like it's not so much a specific taste as there is a tingle.
Not
Barely-
allergic to whatever material the wall.
Right.
It's like people that are
Swells
like,
up.
I like how like pineapples like make my tongue all tingly when I eat them, and you go, that's not how that works.
As maintaining eye contact with Astoy.
I had the tingles.
And she just stops.
I don't know what you mean.
Oh my god.
On my tongue, it had the tingles.
Oh,
What you tell about it?
I think I'll pass.
Triss will like look at Knots and then just be like,
Yeah, you taste the wall or the stone or whatever piece of stone that you want, and yeah, it has that like slight like rocky non-taste, like petrichor like taste that's not really a full taste. But the biggest thing is that there is a little bit of a tingle on your tongue where your tongue touched the stone. And it's not like an aftertaste like tingle, it's just like something you've never really associated with taste before.
And seeing Triss do this, I absolutely go like full tongue, not just like tip of tongue. I just like lean in and I'm like, wah.
Yeah, your full tongue like starts this little buzzy tingle.
So Ryan, the person, wants to mine the hell out of this through this campaign while we're all becoming miners, smugglers.
oh my god.
Nix, the character, doesn't think like that.
Oh my god. That's so fucking funny.
Kind of weird.
She's right. It does actually tingle a little bit. Does it feel like our characters wouldn't know what electricity is, but if you've ever licked something that's like a little bit electrified, is it like that? Or is it
Let's
like
see.
if you eat
Give me-
pineapple and don't know you're allergic to it, but it's not allergic enough to like cause a real reaction?
Give me an instinct roll.
Okay. Okay. That is a 12, but with hope.
You can take that hope.
Nice.
You're not really sure what it is. It does in the physical sense feel a little bit like licking a battery or like the taste of like electricity on the air. Very slightly.
Don't do this at home.
But your character doesn't have any like understanding of what this tingle or new sense might mean.
Gotcha.
I mean,
Yeah. Triss just looks vaguely confused.
we know this stone is magical of some sort. Maybe that's some residue from it.
I've never been able to feel
Perhaps.
magic with my tongue before. It's kinda cool. But it still kinda tastes gross.
In areas with very high concentrated magic, you can sometimes literally feel it in the air or smell it. It's almost like a taste in the air. I wonder if this is similar.
Well,
I'm gonna
regardless of how... Oh, good.
I'm gonna try and listen for noises. I'm still absolutely terrified that we like heard noises and then we're just like, nah, it's okay. Let's touch stuff with our tongues.
Right.
Yeah, that's very fair. I keep forgetting about that.
Well, I mean, also, Nyx is the only one that has heard these noises. Nobody else has heard
Oh, cool.
the
cool,
noises.
cool.
So, Nyx is the only one. You can absolutely give me another instinct roll if you wish.
20 with hope.
What's going on with the dice
take that.
tonight?
The second
Take
roll.
that hope, and as you're like trying to block out the noise of Triss and Knots talking about how their tongues are tingling because they were licking the walls, you like try to reach out, and since you had heard that noise before, you're not sure if it's a trick of your mind or if you're actually hearing it again, but in the distance you do hear that kind of slight shifting of rocks.
Does
And
anyone
it's
else
from in front of
notice
us?
You're not sure exactly where it's coming from. It gives you the sense that it's further a lot, like not where you came from. That's the only sense that you get, is it didn't really come from the direction you came from, but you're not sure where exactly ahead of you it might be coming from.
I'll just say, well, not to ruin this tasting party, but I do feel like we should be cautious going forward. It might be a trick of my imagination, but I am fairly certain I've heard some sort of movement ahead of us.
I don't think you ruined the. It already didn't taste good to begin with. But is this the sound that you heard earlier?
Similar, yeah.
Because I don't hear it. Are you sure you're okay?
No, I'm not.
You need to sit down.
No, I don't.
And the doors that opened and closed earlier didn't make any sounds, correct?
Yeah, they didn't.
Correct. They were very silent.
Okay.
Which is also like fucking weird.
Right. Not even a.
Yeah, just imagine it's like,
No. No.
like
Well, it's possible those people you were tracking are here. If they stole this artifact from Triss's people, I mean, this seems like a place they would want to go.
Perhaps.
yeah,
Unsure why they would bring it here, though.
or why they would sound like rocks moving.
Well, maybe they're trying to get into something.
Maybe.
Didn't it come from here originally?
It did. Or
What if there's like some kind of like foul necromantic ritual that they're trying to do by returning it to its source? Or, just trying to bring it home? Whoa.
I dislike that that's not a completely outlandish theory. I'm trying to ignore the dog barks with Knott's voice. I'm sorry, that was.
What is happening?
I heard it and I was like, power through, and then you started laughing and I was like, no.
I couldn't. Well, it took me a second. I was like, "What is happening?" And then, oh.
I was like trying to figure out where I was getting extra audio from. I was like, did I leave myself in Discord or something?
And somebody
I was trying to
just
figure out how Jeremy was laughing at the same time that he was talking, and I was like, I don't understand. What's
Oh
going on
god.
right
I scared my cat away.
Jeremy's been working on his beatboxing.
Right?
The beat and the chorus at the same time. Knots and a barking.
Oh boy.
Oh god. Okay.
I'll take a listen and see if I can hear this noise that Nick says he's hearing.
Sure,
To
give me an instinct
Knott's
roll.
to Knott's Trish just kind of like she like says that and Trish like looks down and goes, the
14.
power of the Heartstone is to give life, so you might not be particularly far off.
14 with hope.
Wouldn't
You
it be
can take that
weird
hope.
if it got up and started running around and everyone was inside of it? We're all like being jumbled around and stuff. It'd be so uncomfortable, don't you think?
I think we would be dead.
Her eyes kind of get wide.
I mean,
You try to reach out, Astoy, and listen. But unfortunately, you can't hear anything over the discussion about the creature that you're in being brought back to life and that killing you all. So,
I mean, there's also the question of who is this creature, who killed it, and why did they kill it?
Is it
And is
the
it coming back to life for good or a bad thing?
No
I
idea.
think perhaps bad if the legends are correct and its entire body forms the continent. That would be apocalyptic.
Well,
Yeah,
if the,
Voltron is really cool.
Oh no.
pretty sure my house wouldn't survive?
I mean, if your people are from here and the Heartstone is from here, maybe that's what created your people. Maybe they're
Perhaps.
trying to restart that.
Maybe they're trying to create a different people.
Yeah,
One
something
that
maybe they
could be
control.
slaves to their very will. Or just, their own people.
I mean, I don't know if my people were made here. I just know that they came from here. It could have just been that they found this and made it their home.
Oh.
But
Well, let's. Nix, can you tell where that sound was coming from? I couldn't hear it.
Well, Story, didn't you say that you, could feel out, like your network?
I mean, somewhat.
Could you find if there was something out there touching the wall? Try and feel me. Try and feel me feel the wall.
huh?
I think I actually understand what Knots is saying. I will walk back over to the living stone that I connected with earlier
Oh boy.
and see if I can connect to it.
yeah, give me another instinct roll.
Okay. Actually, Triss should probably try this too.
Hmm.
That would be
I'll spend a
a
hope to
10
give you
with
help.
fear.
Oh, never mind. Too late.
What did you get?
10 with fear.
Yeah, you reach out and try to connect like you did before, and instead of you pushing yourself outwards and feeling the corpse around you, you are almost forcibly dragged in for a second. Uh, you manage to react in time to like pull yourself out of it, but like the second that you reach and push your senses out, it's almost like it's trying to be sucked away from you. So you are going to take a stress
Okay.
Yeah.
as you basically forcibly pull yourself back into your body.
Feel like I'm assuming I didn't like my body wasn't pulled in. It was just more of my conscious.
Yeah, your essence.
Okay. He'll like pull back real quick from the stone and like, oh, that went a lot worse than the first time.
Are you
I'm-
all right?
I'm sorry.
I'm all right. It just, I don't know, like, I don't know if it's trying to make contact or what, but I felt like it was trying to drag my conscious into something in there.
Interesting.
I'm gonna look like I typically do when I listen to the wind for hints on what to do, and then say, I think maybe we shouldn't do that again.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Are the spirits talking to you?
Hmm. One called Common and the other one called Sense.
Common and sense. Never heard of those before.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well, the first time was different. I don't know what happened that time. I'm also not a giant, so it could be different for me. I don't know.
Chris, have you ever experienced something like that? Like a network of brains connected together that you can hear?
Yes and no. It's odd. Part of becoming the Heart Guardian is connecting, at least partially, with the Heartstone. And when you do so, there is a moment when you feel as though you're in touch with every living thing. It's overwhelming. And I don't know if that's something I can tap into. It's only something that I was allowed to do via the Heartstone.
Well, I don't want any of you to get sucked into the wall, whether it's your spirit or your body, so, Nix, can you lead us towards where you heard the sound?
Before we go, give me a sec to catch my thoughts again.
I'm going to go up and give Astoy a hug.
No.
I've let go of Kaboon at this point.
I'll not be comfortable with signs of affection and head towards the sound of danger.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the only real true direction you have based just geographically where you're at is to exit this parlor room and continue down the hallway.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. Well, why don't you guys go with him? I'll catch up in a couple minutes.
I feel like we shouldn't leave anyone behind.
Yeah, I just need to have a set, take a little bit of a break. This has been straining.
I mean,
I
can you stay with him?
That's not a bad idea.
Kavun gives a nod. Slightly
No.
reluctantly.
I'll pull out a piece of jerky and give it to Kaboon and then give him scritches.
No.
His eyes like shutter, close for a second, and then just looks at you.
Pocket bacon for the win.
Oh God. Oh.
Yeah, so the four of you can head out along the hallway if you wish, while Kavun stays with Astoy in the parlor room. As you guys move down the hallway, it is super dark in here, so you guys only really have the vision that your torch gives you.
Yeah, Triss would have the torch and sort of be like holding it out over everybody.
As you continue down the hallway, two more rooms appear on the left. Bedrooms that are just like mirrors of the other two that you went into previously. As you're passing by the doorway of the fourth room, you can tell from the edge of your light that the hallway ends or changes. It's not just the same, like, at least like something happens at the edge of the light there that is different from what you've been walking down so far in this hallway.
Yeah. Maybe call for a stop.
Yeah, I'll stop here.
Yeah, I mean, the basic sense that you get is that it opens up like a T-junction, almost, as if like something goes to the left and something, like another hallway, goes to the left and to the right. But since you guys have stopped like essentially right where the change happens, you can't really garner much more information than that.
Well, I don't necessarily want to split up the party even further.
Yeah, we did just get back together, and there still is technically the other path.
Please, why are you just standing there looking like a zombie? It's kind of creepy.
I'm coming down from the drugs you gave me.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
That would do it.
Astoy, what are you doing back in the room with Kavun?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down on the floor with Kavun. I'm gonna turn into a legendary cat, just a little bitty cat, black cat, and then just cuddle into Kavun for a few minutes.
No.
And I'll reduce my stress by 4.
Using
Using my, let me get back to my effects. Clarity of Nature. Reducing my stress by my instinct, so it's back down to 1 stress from 5.
Nice.
your instinct is a 4?
4 at this moment. That's why I spent the stress to go into the kitty form.
Gotcha.
I feel like Kavun, who's, very protective, but is also kind of fatherly instead of motherly, does start purring and looks down at you. And Astoy hasn't seen this, and Nyx hasn't seen this, but Triss and Grace have definitely seen it. He licks your head exactly twice, and like your head hair, which will go away when you transform back, but your head hair is like slurped off to one side.
Amazing.
Okay.
And then he just like stares off.
Okay. After feeling a little bit better, the little cat will stand up and like nudge Kavun a little and try to catch up with the others.
For sure. So yes, the rest of you are still kind of standing at this end of the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
You think, or at least a change in the hallway.
T-junction. All right. As we were walking, I did want to specifically try to like listen out to see if I can hear the noises that Nyx has been hearing.
Sure. You can give me an instinct roll.
Okay. I am going to spend a hope to add Captain of the Heartblades, because that feels like listening in for potential dangers would fit in with your training for that.
Sure.
Do I have to add prayer dice before or after?
Oh, you can add prayer dice after if you wish.
Okay. Yeah, I'll add a prayer die. That comes out to 14 total.
With
fear.
Yeah, you stop here for a second and you try to push your senses out and listen. And you don't hear any of the noises that Nyx has described thus far of like shifting rock or anything like that. However, you consciously attempting to push your senses out, you almost feel like the mountain is unfolding in on you. Like where before you had room to breathe, the second you push those senses out, almost unconsciously, you feel as if the mountain is coalescing around you. And it's such a strange sense that you've never felt before. You are going to take a stress in that moment, as it's just, you're not so much panicking as it's just a new weird sensation that you've never felt before.
I think it's probably like Triss looks calm, but her like pupils are like a little extra dilated.
And is at this moment that Stoya and Kavoon come back up upon the paused party.
Nyx will start and turn around and just be like, oh, okay, all right. I feel like, I don't know, I feel very uneasy.
I don't know if it's the best thing for us to be in here. Look at Triss's eyes, and you're super jumpy, and the story feels all weird. And the tongue doesn't tingle anymore, but the wall did make my tongue tingle, which was weird.
Well,
I will admit I do feel increasingly uncomfortable.
when Triss says that, Astoya will walk up and just kind of rub against her bottom of her foot. His tail standing straight up.
This time, Nyx will actually listen to the kind of the whatever movement or not movement of air there is in the cavern. I'm not going to be using like the prophetic ability, but really just trying to get a sense from his, divine source. Like he felt compelled to seek out this artifact because of his relationship to his deity. Does he still feel like he should be forging forward to find this thing, or does he feel like
Yeah, you
getting
can
out?
use strength roll.
20 with hope. Just keep them
Great.
coming.
Take
Right?
that hope. You pause for a moment and actually try to listen, just the way that you would listen anytime they want to speak to you. And you don't hear any words on the wind. And there's no actual physical wind down here, but you do feel that brush of air against your neck. And it's warm, almost comforting. The wind is never truly comforting, but it doesn't give you like a chill down your back. It's like a summer wind. And you get the sense that something here is important to them.
Okay. I will kind of look around and I'll kind of pose that question almost rhetorically at this point, of, well, we've come this far and we've been seeking this artifact. Is it worth just giving up now? And then kind of like heft his axe over his shoulder and kind of make as though to head off into the darkness.
Part of me feels as though this is a distraction, but another part of me feels as though this is where we are supposed to be. And if the people that took the Heartstone didn't just take it for its value, but to use it for a purpose, then this would be a place to try to use it.
I do want to back up a few episodes and just clarify something, because I was tracking the people who stole the Heartstone.
Mm-hmm.
Did we feel like they went past the cave opening and continued on?
You
Or did we not know?
You don't know. The last
Okay.
indication that you saw of them, like specifically, was the like very slight signs of fire and campfire on the actual like switchbacks up the
Right.
mountain. That was the last like true physical sign that you had of them. And then you guys found this cave to travel, like to sleep in for the night, and then figured out that the cave itself like sweeps away any
Right.
signs. So
And so 2 questions there. How far was the cave from the campsite?
so the campsite you guys saw towards like mid to late afternoon, up as you were doing the switchbacks, and the cave, a few hours after that, you guys peeled off of the trail and found this cave about like 15 to 20 minutes off the trail.
And am I misremembering that there was like signs of a campfire in the cave that had like been cleaned
There were
up?
no signs of anything.
Okay, so it was our campfire that I'm probably thinking of that, like, after we put it out, started
Got cleaned
disappearing. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Thank you for clarifying. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, if they were a day ahead of us, it could make sense that they camped out in that cave, which was like the only shelter that we could find at the very least.
Well, your last assumption is that they were about 5 to 7 days ahead of you. They were about a week ahead of you.
Oh shit! I thought we were like a day or two behind them. Never mind.
No. You guys took your time recovering, getting out of the Wailing City. That you guys lost some time
Cool.
there. Yeah. So when you passed the camp, the campfire on the mountainside, Knots had recognized that it was around a week old, but wasn't sure
Okay.
beyond, like the specifics.
I am on the same page as everybody else now.
So, what? I'm just saying, if we want to go after them, we're just falling further behind. Do we really think that they went this way, or is this just a really interesting, not really tasty, somewhat textually interesting distraction?
You might have a point.
Well, maybe they live this way, I don't know. If this cave would stop cleaning itself, it would help.
It's just so hard to tell whether they've been through here or not.
I'm going to continue forward.
Yeah,
I guess we'll follow him?
absolutely.
Kitty will follow.
Yeah, as you guys move forward and more light like shines upon what's ahead of you, you realize that the hallway comes out into what might be a T-junction, but you notice that there's banister that like is right in front of you, and like a hall like curls off to either side. That's like what first comes into view as you move forward with the light, is that the hallway splits left and right, but it's not a wall, it's a banister into open space.
Does it seem like we're in the middle of the banister, or?
As you continue walking forward, and more light spills out, it looks like you guys are on some sort of storied landing. You can't tell how high you guys are off the ground, but you're on some sort of landing as you start seeing more of the hallways. And it looks like your hallway is one that is right near a like grand staircase that starts curving down to the right, and then more of the landing peels off to the left.
All right. Do we hear the noise coming from any direction?
No, not since Nyx heard something in the far distance.
Okay.
Nyx is gonna take a die. He'll take a die from his pack, and I'd kind of like to toss it to get a sense of how it sounds echo in here, and also how high I roll. No, and just to get a sense of maybe what story we might be on.
Yeah, so do you toss it like over the banister?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me an instinct roll. This is just to see how much information you can glean from listening to the die.
16 with fear.
The die disappears over the banister, and shortly, like a second or two, if that, you hear a small ting, but it doesn't like echo. As you've noticed, there's something that is like dampening the sounds in here. Like the initial sound, you can still hear it, but it's like it's the where it should be super echoey because of all of these hard walls and flat surfaces and things like that. There's just no echo, as if somebody has, done some sound design on it to take the echo out of the room. So you can still hear the noises. There's just no echo present. And it gives you the indication that you guys are likely on like a second floor, but like a tall second floor, like a 20-foot second floor, as if maybe this is like a grand entry hall or opening or something of that kind.
Cool.
As you pull your die out, Knots is like,
You play too? That's amazing, so do I.
and she digs into her pack. Yes, I'm using my nomadic pack for this. Pulls out like an almost full set of polyhedral dice, and then watches you throw your die over the edge, and is like,
Oh my god.
Pixel just kind of just to do like a
Well, guess you're not gonna be rolling that one the next time we play. Which we could do tonight when we stop for rest, if you'd like to.
Oh boy.
Yeah, if you guys continue to move up like to the banister, you get enough light that you can see that yes, to the right there is a grand staircase that curves down into what looks like a very nice entry entry hall. And to the left, the landing continues, and you see two more hallways peel off of the landing.
Interesting. Okay.
Are there
And you get the bear's tent that there's a matching staircase across the way, like vaguely. You can't quite see it because it's in the darkness, but based on the symmetry that you have seen so far, you get the hint that there's matching staircases that peel down into this entryway.
This is quite the space.
We haven't seen any other critters or anything here at all, right?
Nope.
Have we seen any of the like runes or switches around? Like I'm gonna look around, or anything towards the ceiling that might be something that could be switched on, like a chandelier.
Yeah, you can give me an instinct roll.
Yeah, a 12-foot tall torch holder can only go so far.
And now I have like the chandelier song playing in my head, but knots just swinging on the chandelier.
Oh god, oh no.
8 with
Like a bit.
fear.
Yeah, it's weird. You haven't seen, other than the ones that you have seen in the rooms that switch the sliding like servant quarters doors, you haven't seen any of them, and you would expect that there might be more of them with maybe a variety of different uses, but you haven't seen any.
How big are the treads of the stairs?
They are slightly bigger than an average human, as if they were made for like a 7 to 8 foot tall species.
And just in case the magical Roomba has a limited range, I just want to check and make sure there's no signs of tracks or anything out here.
I'm not even gonna make you roll for it.
Okay.
It looks just like everywhere else you've gone since you've entered that cave.
Stupid Roomba thing. Spirit.
I will say, thinking about it, you realize that the campfire in the cave, like, you know, the indications of you guys being there were there for a bit before they were wiped clean. So presuming that that is similar, nothing's passed through here, at least in a day, because there's no signs of disturbance.
At least nothing that leaves tracks.
Correct.
Are we leaving tracks?
Good question.
There's no like dust or anything like that, and it is solid work stone. So the only tracks that you guys have left so far are drawers that you've left open or shoes that you've left behind.
Spit we've left on a wall.
Yes, those kinds of things. They have stayed at least for the time that you were still watching it. It wasn't like immediately wiped away.
We're never going to go back that direction. One day, other adventurers will come through here and they'll be like, look at these pristine shoes that someone left behind.
Oh god. Oh no. It'll be funny though.
Do we want to walk around or do we want to go down those really tall stairs?
They're not that tall.
There is only down, right? Not up.
Correct.
They're
Much taller than I am comfortable with. I'm just saying, you have very long legs, Triss. Your legs are
Yeah,
like
right?
longer than I am tall.
By quite a bit, yes.
So they're
I can carry you down if you wish. Or you can ride Kavoon.
these are very Trish
I speak nothing but the truth.
Um,
and we can't see. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I just want to verify we can't see the end of either direction to our sides.
Like you can see the stairs that curl down, and you can see the floor at the bottom, but you can't see like all the way across to where you think the matching stairs are.
I guess how I suppose that if we just came from some sleeping quarters and we're on what seems to be the second floor, many palaces would have this be a sleeping wing, or and I don't know what we're looking for, but to me it doesn't look like we're looking for I don't imagine it would be found where other bedrooms are. I feel like there might be like an entry, like if we can get a better sense of things. So I think we should maybe go down the grand staircase.
I agree.
The story
how
will
many-
take it.
How many houses have you been in?
More than one.
Wow, that's at least
How many
more
hou-
than one that I've been in.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like our house has like a room, and then like my cot is under like my sister's cot, which is above mine, and then like my parents have like a little area that they have like a blanket that they pull over, and so is it kind of like that?
That is like a house I've been in. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's a house.
well, here, where would like the kitchen be, for example, or do you think they have like an entire room for this stove, like just like with a chair set up for it and stuff?
Oh, probably.
Where would something like that be?
I just stare very intently at Nyx.
Down that way, I think.
Let's.
Do that way.
Okay.
All right.
Stoy will return to normal form and go, do you want me to check the other side real quick, or the bottom? We did have the other entrance downstairs. This is probably where it comes in.
That's not a bad idea.
All right, well, wait here a second. I'll be right back.
So where's the story going?
Stoy's going to turn into a legendary bat.
Ah,
Okay. And where are you going?
I'm going to fly over the bottom, looking around for a little bit, and then check out the banister on the other side.
Yeah, you fly over and fly down towards where the first floor is, and you can see now that there are two grand staircases that pull down on either side of this entryway. And you come down, and in this entryway, you notice what seems to be some sort of like reception, like a long desk with a lot of different reception pieces. And then you can see that there are a couple hallways that continue like under where the sleeping quarters are in that direction. And what looks to be like the stone outlines of like couches and chairs like across from the reception area. As you move over like and swing back up top to the other side of the banister, it like just mirrors exactly what you just walked through. As you peek down the other two hallways, it's just hallways that have like some doorways on the right and like a single doorway on the left as you look down it. And it's just a matching banister, and the two stairwells come down to the first floor, like just across from each other.
Yeah.
And you notice that past the stairwells, there is the entryway continues like a little bit, even though there's walls along the grand staircases. It opens up past where the staircases end to a large entryway that opens out somewhere.
Okay. All right. Once I get a good layout here, I'll come back and return to normal and explain this to everybody.
I think you're going to have to walk me through that. I'm having a hard time putting all that into my brain with the darkness.
There's another side just like this up above.
No, I mean,
oh, good.
just later. But I'm just a doer, I guess is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's go downstairs because it seems like...
All right.
Yeah, you guys can go down the staircase to your right. It curls down, and you come down into this entryway. The reception area is to your left, like directly to the left of where the staircase comes out of, and the couches and chairs that are seamlessly formed out of the stone are just across from that like long reception desk on the other side.
How high is like the railing of the banister, and how wide is it?
Yeah, the railing of the banister is about, I want to say, okay, so for humans, it's about normally about like 4.5 feet or so, I think is what banisters normally sit at. So it's slightly higher than that. It's like a 5 foot to 5.5 foot banister. And it's about probably 9 or 10 inches wide.
So there's kind of a wall. You said there's like a wall, and is there like a handrail that comes out of the curved wall?
Yes.
Or, so I could convince Knots to slide down it, and that's the best way.
You could absolutely. There are. He could attempt to do the one that comes out of the wall, or the banister one. The banister one might be easier to accomplish, given that there's no wall right next to it. But
I have a feeling like you're going to try to convince him Knox is already doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
So to convince, there she goes.
Knots, are you trying to slide down the banister?
I mean, I'll be honest, probably didn't cross her mind because it is taller than she is. So getting on it is problematic.
Wouldn't it be
She
fun?
could ride it like a snowboard, like
Right.
guardrail.
Nix will shake the intrusive thought from his head and walk.
In your head, you're like watching Knots fly down it and then just falls off the edge. Ah!
The home
Yeah,
screen.
you get you get
You
just the bottom,
smile.
and there's absolutely like a decorative post at the end of the banister on the left hand side, like the actual banister and not just the handrail. There is a decorative post that Knots absolutely could have run into.
Okay, I will be pleased with my decision.
Now all of the furniture, everything we're seeing is all made out of the same material.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All the stone, right?
Yep. I mean, intricately carved or formed, but no seams.
Let's check out that desk where it looks like some kind of waiting area. Probably nothing there, but we're checking.
Yeah, so to the left is a long, like, reception desk. So one of those ones is just like a standing reception desk. It's not desk height, it's like standing height. That looks like, like a kind of a classic check-in area for what would be maybe a fancy hotel. For those of you who have been to places like that. There doesn't, at least when you first walk up there doesn't seem to be any paperwork or like tchotchkes or anything like left out on this desk, for lack of a better term. And there's not any drawers on the reception desk itself. Behind it, there is a series of what looks like fancy cabinets that have drawers.
I'll open one of the drawers.
Yeah, you open the drawers and there's nothing.
The Elder Scrolls player in me just wants to start ripping everything open.
Right. What is this
I mean,
vase kick?
I mean, it's easy enough to open, but just like every other drawer you've opened or thus far while you've been in here, there's nothing inside.
We'll like nod sagely and close the drawer gently.
Well, it was worth a shot. But this is strange, right? Like, if you think this was a home, what would they... I mean, it almost feels like this is an entryway for guests or
Yeah,
people
I
coming to
wonder. I
visit.
wonder if this is not a palace like we thought it was. And I mean, I'd like to know if this is an entryway. Then whatever's out there would be where they would be coming from.
Yeah.
What's out there?
That's a good question.
Well, I'm betting that's where we were at earlier.
Does that make sense? Knowing where we were, like if I could like try
Well,
in my mind,
Nyx did not walk the other path, so Nyx has no sense of reference of where the other path led out to. So Nyx has no frame of reference to try and put that together. One of the other characters could try to.
Are we facing back the direction we came?
Are you
that at
facing
least-
back the direction you came? No, you've because basically when you guys came, you went to the right and it curled upwards and curled across, and then the hallway went like down forward. So you've not seemingly like backtracked towards where the cave has been. You've gotten further and further away from it.
Okay.
Actually, it seemed like where you guys were like a back entrance, so I'm guessing we were maybe at a back entrance as well.
Mm-hmm.
And this actually might be the front.
Yeah, we would do like the servant's entrance or something.
Yeah. I mean, we could check it out, or we can go check these hallways.
I like leaving loose ends. So
Yeah, if there's like anything that can sneak up behind us because we didn't
Oh,
check,
God.
that'd be the best.
Are you still hearing things, Nix?
Also, did you have any of the mushrooms that Knots gave out earlier?
No, I didn't. And I got a 16 with hope.
Yeah, so you take a listen again, and fainter, but still there. Shifting rock.
Do I get a sense of direction now?
You get the sense that it's out and away. So if you were to put your back up against the reception desk and have like the hallway that you just came down like behind you, you get the sense that it's coming out to like forward and to the right, like that like general quarter of a direction, but you don't get more than that, more distinct than that.
So where we came from, is that like out the entrance or the exit, or like
the entryway is within that space. The entryway is within the space.
And it's just dark outside the entryway, right?
You have not gotten close enough with a source of light to get anything
so
out.
No light is coming in from the entryway.
Correct.
I will say I swear I heard it. It seems more distant, and it seems to be coming from that direction. Without the echoes that I would expect to find. Oh, by the way, I'll try and find my die. In an area like this, it makes it hard to determine if it's coming from within or from without this building. I think that if this building didn't dampen echoes, then it, to me, seems like it's from outside.
Interesting.
But that doesn't mean anything because this place is weird.
Yes.
Carly.
Yeah.
Previously, I've only used my fireflies to melt people and set them on fire. However, fireflies glow.
Fireflies do glow.
If I successfully summon my fireflies, may I use them as like a flittering around light source?
Yeah, you can give me a spellcast roll with the attempt of summoning fireflies as a dancing light source. Use D&D terms.
What's going on here? 15, 17 with hope.
You can take that hope.
Can't
yeah. Well, then you should be using it. That sounds like a personal problem.
Carly said, "Not my issue."
Right?
Yep.
Not my problem. It's a fluid resource. If you don't use it, that's on you. Anyways, with the 17, you can absolutely summon your fireflies out and send them out. They a singular firefly does not provide a large amount of light, so
Totally.
if you spread them out as far as you can go, you get about 60 feet of dim light. You can coalesce them in areas if you wish to.
I think
But,
first
a full spread out is 60 feet of dim light.
Okay, unscrew the lid to the jar, and I dump them out. And then as they begin to wake up and float around, I direct them out towards the entry. Essentially, I want to light up that area and what's beyond, and have them kind of float around over there. And if there's nothing interesting there, I'll have them come back and just kind of surround us in that kind of area effect that you described.
Yeah, if you send them out towards the entryway, as they head out that way, they light up the tall entryway that has art on the walls. You notice that there's been like no windows, or even like the semblance of windows. You are in a mountain, but like not even like, even like humans or other people, when they make like underground living spaces, they still put in like windows. There hasn't really been any sense of that. But you you send the fireflies out, and it's a grand entryway. It's about 15-foot tall entryway, 15, and you send the fireflies out. There's no door, and it's like you can notice that there's some like like 4 steps that come down out of the entryway, and then you see like a large path before it goes dark.
Okay, sorry, real quick. So you say they come down 2. Are the steps going down away? Like if you walk out, are you going down steps, or are you going up steps going out?
You're going down like
Okay, cool.
3 or 4 steps, like a land, like it's a slight upward landing, going down to like a street, but it goes dark, so you can't really tell anything past like 10 feet after the steps. You can't get your fireflies to move further.
Yeah, that's fine. Until everyone's ready, I'll bring them back and light up as much of the space around us as I can.
Yeah, you light up this entry hall pretty easily with dim light with your fireflies.
So any other visible sources of what they would have used for light in here? Now that we can see the whole.
You can give me a instinct or knowledge roll.
Okay. No, that would be an 8 with hope.
No, you kind of start looking in like standard places where you think there should be like chandeliers or like sconces or things like that, and there's no like standard indication of where light might come from.
You said that sound was getting dimmer, right, Nix?
Yeah.
Maybe we should move faster then if we want to figure out what it is.
Not a bad idea.
Maybe it's them moving or someone moving.
It's coming from outside. Perhaps it's something trying to get in.
Yeah.
Okay, just because Knots and I had this premonition of this thing is waking up and moving around us because they have the Heartstone and are waking it up. I am going to like kneel down and put my hand on the floor and just like really, really concentrate and see if there's any vibrations that we've just like we can't feel through our feet.
Sure. You can give me a finesse or instinct roll. Your choice.
Finesse is +2 and instinct is +2. So 19 + 2 is 21. So
Take that hope. Mr. I'm full on hope.
gonna bank
for
that.
once. For once. No, I mean you can only have 6. You can't have more. You can't hold them.
Yeah.
You just lose it. You're losing hope right now,
I know.
man.
We gotta do something to. I need something to do to burn this. Let's start a fight. Who wants to fight me? All 3 of you come on.
Knots kneels down and like presses their hand to the floor, and there is the tiniest sense of vibrations, but you can't tell if it's creatures moving about or this is living rock. Is it breathing? But there is a sense of vibration.
Oh, you were just feeding Knots's worry machine.
Crap!
I mean, you could take a
We need to
stress.
get out of here.
You can take a stress if you want to.
Yes, I wanted to take his dress.
Oh my god.
Maybe you'll get a benefit for taking a voluntary stress.
Right?
later. Maybe.
I think it's moving. I think they're broken up. We need to get out of here because if we're inside, like you said, we're gonna become like jelly inside of a sandwich.
Let's start moving then. Which direction?
I mean, seems like there was an exit there, right?
Let's go check it out.
Yeah, so the group of you move to this large entryway, and you step out. And now with the fireflies spread around you, you stepped out into what seems to be a 30-foot wide path. And it's got a slight incline down to the left and a slight, so it's a decline to the left, incline to the right, very slight, and you look to the left or right and you can see further down the path similar openings to the one that you are currently standing in, and you notice a curve to this path from what you can visually see, and then you can see that there's no handrail or anything, but the path goes out about 30 feet and then drops. It doesn't continue, it cuts off into nothingness from where you are standing in the entryway right now.
Sure.
And I feel like that's a really good place to leave off for a quick break. As you guys stand in this entryway in front of a spiraling path.
No boy.
Sweet.
I'm sure it'll just be so cool down there.
Right? All right, we'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes.
All
See you
right.
shortly. Welcome
Welcome back. Yes. So our intrepid group has just stepped outside of a hotel? Question mark? Into a curved road path that goes to the left, down to the left, and up to the right. And they can see that down to the left there is an entryway that looks similar to the one that they are currently standing in. And also up to the right, there is an entryway that looks similar to the one they are standing in.
This seems like a pretty big civilization.
Yes. This almost feels a bit like a city street, like a city block.
I was thinking the same thing.
Obviously, not straight, but
Well, then,
Well, if you're building a city vertically, because
Mountain.
we're going deeper into, and that's the thing that is shocking to me, is that there's this much of a cavity.
yeah, looking up, are we able to see a ceiling?
Not from where you are currently and the amount of light that you have. You currently only have about 60 feet of
Okay.
vision in any direction with the fire.
Right, but it's still, it's not within
Yep.
60 feet, which is pretty big.
Yeah. Now that we're outside of the hotel, whatever that is, are there any signs of is there stuff on the ground at all, or is it all still very clean?
Very clean. It does, like I said, like the path, road, whatever you want to call it, is a flat piece of the same like stone that you have been walking on. Seamless piece, extends out about 30 feet, and then like there's nothing there. Like it's just all you can see is darkness. Like you can't see across the cavern, and you're currently standing in the entryway, so you can't see down either.
Yep.
It just like ends.
Down or
Do
up?
we-
Oh.
Sorry, there's like a ledge that we like just
Mhm.
this darkness below. I kind of wanted to do this in the entry hall, but then we just ended up did not have the fireflies. Can I drop the torch just over the edge?
Well, if you come up to the edge and look with what the fireflies are, you can absolutely do this. But if you come up to the edge, you will
Mhm.
see with the fireflies around that it seems like this curved path continues
Oh, it's like
Bel-
it just
bel-
curves down and around.
below you. You can't see all the way across, but you can see like a replicated curved path underneath you that has these entryways. You can still drop the torch if you want to.
Is it kind of being like a switchback?
No, like a spiral, like a
Gotcha.
garage, like a car garage spiral path.
I mean, I was gonna drop it to
It's like
see what was
a
below.
hollowed out center, although you can't see all the way across. So
If we can see what's below, then I don't need to do it. But-
Well, is there like a hole in the middle?
yeah, it
Right.
looks like it's
Uh-huh.
like there's a hollowed. Essentially, it
Oh,
looks
okay.
like there's a hollowed hole, and this like
Yeah.
path curves around, but you can't see all the way across. That's just like the
Okay.
sense that you get based on the fact that you can see like a replicated path.
Yeah, I want to drop the
underneath
torch.
you.
Kind of maybe just like give it a little toss to get it to fall like down the middle of the hole to see how deep it goes.
Yeah, you can give me an instinct roll, please.
Oh boy, I keep rolling things that I have a +0 in. Okay. Is this worth adding a prayer die to at all?
Or both.
Yes.
I can add both.
You can add multiple paradise. It just expends them.
Yeah, so I have 2 left. They're both 4s though.
How many torches do we have? Because that's another expendable resource that is being used up.
Oh my god.
I do have
That's
some.
true.
You have a fair handful.
Mm-hmm. Screw it. I
Between all
want to
of
be
you.
able to see things. I will add both of my last remaining paradise, which
Great.
takes this to a 15.
Oh wow.
With hope.
Okay, so take that help. Yeah, you toss the torch down this tunnel, and as you toss it out, it does light up the other side, like as it extends out from you. The dim light that comes off of it, you see it brush across the other side, and you can see that this is now a spiraled path that goes down this like hollowed out tube, and you can notice that there are like replicated entryways that just open up down this path. The torch starts to fall, and you notice that it continues down 1 spiral,
Mhm.
2 spirals, 3 spirals. It continues down another 6 spirals.
Ooh.
You do notice that across the way on like the 3rd-ish spiral, it's hard to tell given how fast the torch falls, there is a larger opening that is not like an entryway to like one of these hotels. There's like a larger opening that cuts across.
I'll point that out. Like 3 floors down, there appears to be another tunnel.
Do we?
Want to know how high it goes?
Might as well.
This story you can turn into something that flies, right? I didn't just
can.
dream that. Well, you can't see in
have
the.
some mushrooms.
That's right. But you can't see in the dark, right?
I mean, I can do well enough.
But if like fireflies were like right on your back,
Could Grace make something light up that you could carry?
I could try.
that'd be even better.
I will spin a stress, turn into a bat.
Bat?
All right.
Legendary bat. Yeah.
Somebody roll a duality dice for me for Grace.
I gotcha.
And add a +2 to it, please.
14.
Okay. Yeah, she manages to light up like a small, I don't know, rock or something that you guys have, an object that you guys have that you can like carry in one of your little bat claws.
Okay.
Like a ball bearing or something. And it doesn't give you like a lot of light. It goes about 10 feet. Well, it goes about 15 feet of dim light that like extends out from
That's
there.
fine. I will start flying up.
You're gonna fly up?
Yep.
Yeah, you start to fly up and you notice the spiral like continues. Before it doesn't even do a full loop before it ends, like the pathway ends at another one of these entryways that's almost like directly across from where your
Gotcha.
group is.
Is
And the it is rock overhead about like 30 feet over the top of that like entryway.
okay. Is the doors open?
There's no doors, they're just entryways.
Okay. I'll do a quick fly in just to see if it looks like the other hotel before I fly back out.
Yeah, it looks like a eerily similar replica of the one that you just came out of.
Okay. I'll fly back.
Just an event center. We need to
It's a
find like
convention
the
center.
right. We need to find the meeting
God.
rooms.
Yeah, I mean, anachronistically, the only things that don't have windows are like convention centers and casinos. But
Oh, this was a casino.
No, oh my god.
how tall is one spiral?
One spiral so is about it continues, yeah.
Not
I
about
wanna say
precisely. We need to know precisely.
Wow, you'd have to do a knowledge check for precisely. So, it is about like I want to say 50 to 60 feet. So, like if you were standing on the path and looked up, it would be about 50 to 60 feet to the bottom of like
The same
the
spot.
other path.
Right. So we're talking about like almost a 400-foot cylinder.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Nick's just kind of reasoning through what the enormity of what he sees. We came from one path down a corridor which had several other paths that each and there were at least 2 rooms, right? Or maybe there was more
There's
bedrooms.
4 in that
4.
hallway. There are 4 bedrooms in that hallway with a parlor on the opposite.
Right.
side.
So we're looking at like
8.
a lot of sleeping space
Mm-hmm.
in one building. and everything is huge. This is, and if you would imagine that if there was a city that had this amount of place for people to rest, there also would be commensurate like industry of some sort. And I don't know of any place that I've ever been that would house this many people or this amount of space. And we're underground like this. I'm really kind of shook.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't say that. He just acts shook.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll fly back and I'll just like mark one scratch on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Well, should we go down to that door you saw? That doorway that you saw? This.
Down, or seems that there's something above too.
Or do we want to investigate all of these?
Oh,
Bat shakes his head no for when you say investigate above.
okay. Seems, yeah, down where we go.
Oh, what if you listen to your spirits again? Thanks.
Let's go down.
That was fast.
I need to rest.
Oh,
Fast.
just
Channeling the spirits make you tired?
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, so you guys can continue follow the spiral down. As you make like a full loop, you notice that there is so there's like 6 of these entryways per loop.
48 bedrooms.
And
No,
continue.
because there was like multiple corridors per.
Well, yeah,
hotel.
so there was like 12 bedrooms in a hotel. There was 6 entryways on a loop. Presuming that they're all the same.
Right, so that's at least 72 per floor, and we have 6 floors, 7 floors. So,
Well, we only knew the 4 on each side is what I was thinking.
oh yeah.
There were 3 hallways in a hotel. There was one
Okay.
on each side and one down the middle.
Gotcha.
Just to make sure that was
Okay.
on everybody's.
Still, crap ton of people.
Yeah, and so then so you go down 3 loops. Well, 2.5 loops before you reach the large opening. This is a 30-foot tall, 20-foot wide opening that like cuts into the mountain where an entryway would be from the pattern that you've been seeing, but instead it's a big like hallway road space that moves further away from the direction you came from.
Shall we continue on?
A stoy's hanging next to your head from your antlers and nods.
He's slightly heavier than she's
Yeah.
used to with Court, because he's like an actual sized person, whereas Court, I think, was
Oh, no, he's a bat at the moment.
That right
Oh.
now.
excellent, perfect. I love it. Hanging
Yeah.
upside down.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, you guys start to move through this hallway, road, tunnel. Who knows what it actually was, but space. You move through this space. And when you first start moving through, like, you have the light, but you can't see the end of it. It's just a big, large opening. You guys move forward like 100 feet or so, and then you can see that the hallway is comes to an end into a similar, at least from what you can see now being 60 feet back, it comes to an end into a similar path like you just came off of. Like you can tell that it's a slightly like slanted path that is curved, but you can't see what's on either side of it. It just mirrors like the what it looked like when you guys entered.
And it looks like it's still just those super uniform entryways.
No, right now you are in the big tunnel.
Oh,
You've been
sorry.
walking
Right.
through the big tunnel, and you can tell, and all you can see is that the tunnel ends, but like where it ends, it looks very similar to how you entered, and that it's
Okay.
a curved path,
Gotcha.
just on the other side of the tunnel.
Just as an out-of-game note, I love how you can spend 2 hours at a door and then just be like, look, there's thousands of doors. Let's go!
That's how we extend the campaign.
Right. I'm going to get, with that in mind, Nyx is becoming more and more comfortable with the enormity of this and feeling like looking for, continue onward.
Yeah, so you come out onto a very similar, like curved path, and with the light that's lighting up and not spreading the fireflies out, the curved path is of a very similar size to the one that you just came on, in that it's like, has the same kind of incline and radius that the one you just came out of. But in this part that you can see, it's just these large hallways. So you see the one that you came out of, and then there's another large hallway down the path, and then there's one like directly across from you, large hallway. So with that in mind, get the idea that in one circle of this path, what you can see so far, there are 4 large hallway openings in this section that you can see.
This is where all the slot machines were. Just
This place is a maze.
Yes, it is.
Jesus.
But that's what you can see so far when you come out of this hallway.
Does Nyx hear anything other than
Give
us?
me an instinct roll.
18 with hope.
Yeah, you take a listen and you hear that grinding of rock against rock again. It sounds like it's coming from down and away from where you are.
So like the corridor, if we were to go as half a circle, like if we were to
Yeah,
go
like
keep going straight.
it's going away, but it's from further down. So not necessarily the hallway that's directly across from you, but like down and away.
Okay.
did it seem? Sorry,
yeah.
because I'm curious. Did
like
it seem
we're gaining?
louder? Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounded similar in like timbre and loudness to like the first time you heard it, and it's really hard to tell given the lack of echoing whether it's because you're closer and hearing it through less walls, or if maybe you could just weren't listening very well one of the times you heard it. It's very, the lack of echo and the way that sound reverberates in this space is very weird.
Does it seem rhythmic or constant?
You've heard it enough times now that it's sounds like something moving. It reminds you of, it's not exactly the same, but it reminds you of what it sounded like when those stone wraiths, the mountain lions, moved, like something made of rock moving.
Does it sound like a thing made of rock moving, or of multiple things made of rock moving?
Give me a knowledge check.
No.
Then you don't know.
No, this one is with fear. It's an 18.
When you've heard it, it sounded like one thing moving, but you do know that the stone wraiths, the mountain lions, moved through rock, and you couldn't hear them when they were moving through rock. You only heard them when they like came out into open air.
Okay. So, sounds like one thing, but that could just be a lie.
Stoy's
Yes.
gonna drop down onto Triss's shoulders and just kind of waddle over next to her and pack for a second, and then take off the flight and go down.
Okay.
Yeah, you go down, and
I'm gonna try
The-
to stay stealth as much as possible.
sure. The first loop is just more of these hallways. So, including the opening that you came out of, you've seen one, two. You've seen 8 of these hallway openings. So, your loop and the loop beneath it. And then you go down, and there's another loop. But this one looks different than what you've seen so far. There are a larger variety of types of openings. And taking a peek in, you see things that indicate places where people could eat or relax, or like store fronts that you don't really see like anything in them, but the way that they're positioned and like the variety of them, this looks like it could be like a town center, if that's the right like word. For like the loop underneath that, it would be a place where people could go do things or shop or whatever. It's very bare, so it's hard to tell exactly what everything was.
Sure.
And then it continues down another loop. So you've gone down 3.5 loops before it butts into this bottom of the mountain here where you are. And on this bottom floor, it looks like a town center, kind of like it's got a fountain, like it could be like a gathering area. There's a large opening at the bottom that doesn't look like these hallway openings, but looks like it could be like the entry hall to like a city hall, or like a place where people could gather or get information about stuff. It's very blank, so it's very hard to get much more specifics. It's just like the vibe that you get.
Okay.
As you've flown through here, you have not seen anybody or anything moving.
Okay. Do I hear the noise getting any closer?
You can give me instinct roll.
Okay. So I have advantage on locate. Would that help with this?
Yeah, you can give yourself advantage.
14 with hope.
No. So when you first started out, you just started moving in the direction that Nyx pointed to you. You still hadn't really heard much of this noise.
Okay.
When you get down like 2 loops, you do start hearing the shifting, but you're not sure where it's coming from. And like when you move down to the bottom, it doesn't seem any further or closer. It does seem like it's on the further side, like across the way from the tube, like the opening, because you can hear it like when you circle along that side, but you're not sure like what level it's coming from or what room, or if it's through a tunnel, or you can't really discern any of that.
Okay. All right. I'll come back up. I will take another view here. I'll try to use one of my abilities called Bird's Eye View.
Sure, you can give me another instinct roll if you wish.
Okay. 21 with hope.
Okay, so you can take that hope. As you come back up the space, you get the idea that this bottom circle and a half is like a gathering area where people could meet, do things, eat, whatever. The very bottom floor seems like a, hard to say government area, but like a place where people in charge could assist whoever's been living in this area.
Okay.
And then as you continue up and you like peek down these hallways, you get the idea that there may be similar tubes to the first one that you came in down each of these big hallway openings, as they look the same as the one that you came out of.
Gotcha.
And that's what you get from those like 3.5 levels that you traveled.
Yeah, so we may have lots of tubes around.
Above table, Soy would would have no context for this. But if anybody's ever been on like a cruise ship, and there's like the center area where there's food and stuff, but there's also like the customer service area. It gives a very similar like vibe to that.
Okay. I will go ahead.
When you fly back.
So I have this one character that is a centaur, and she is like a very majestic. She has like this really long flowing hair that she dyes like purple and stuff. And she's a fighter and she's very strong. What's your first character? How many do you have?
What's the name of the game? Knots.
Oh, what is the name of the game within the game? It's got to alliterate too. Nope, I've got nothing.
Well, since you said centaur, what do you feel about centaurs and castles? Castles and centaurs.
Yes,
Oh my
castles and
God.
centaurs.
Oh no.
I don't play castles and centaurs. That's noob shit.
What?
Well, you played
What is that?
Wayfinder?
That's what I was just gonna say. You play Wayfinder instead.
I've thought about trying out Wayfinder before, but I've heard it's really crunchy and sometimes like math, and I don't really get along very well.
Yeah.
Chris is just
Well,
zoned
sword
the fuck
liver.
out.
The sword liver.
Oh. Let me find that XKCD comic that says there is no recursive gaming allowed.
So we'll relay this information back to everybody. If anybody needs to make a roll on what I've discovered, they can take advantage on it.
I
From the
don't
bird.
feel like that would enlighten knots whatsoever.
But it seems like What I'm curious is if each of these living quarters have a different exit on the mountain.
I'm curious about a lot of things, and
But yes.
this is actually kind of the like these cylinders, these tubes.
Yeah.
Do they seem? Are the walls also like this? It's just everything is so geometric and so crafted. Yeah, my character's like really having some like crisis of like.
It's all made out of that same sort of like the same stone like material, right?
Yep.
You know what I think? I think this is really great inspiration for a dungeon crawl in castles and centaurs.
And I pull out some paper and I start drawing the map of where we've been.
Give me give me a knowledge check, please.
Oh no.
Because I have tracking and foraging and all that, can I spend a hope and use those to influence my map drawing?
Yeah, so you could spend a hope for your tracker experience. What are your other experiences?
Animals are friends, not food. Forager, tracker, and not my friend.
Tracker, I think, is the only one that would apply. You could spend a hope to add your tracker bonus.
That was so close to being a crit, but is a 22 with fear plus
You
3
make
plus. Did you say knowledge?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, 25.
Yeah, it's a pretty dang good map. You do not have that first hallway that the other group went off of. You have like a tiny like indication that a hallway goes that way, but you didn't go to the left, so you don't know what is in that direction. But you like include what you remember of like the back like servant quarters and then the rooms, and you even like lightly sketch out like where you think the other rooms were in the hotel, even though you didn't go into them. It's a pretty good map. You have to tape a few pieces of paper together.
And you all notice, even so, like while you're having the discussion you're about to have, you might glance down every so often. You also notice that there are sketches of this centaur girl and her glorious mane of purple hair. And she has like a gigantic sword, like ridiculously huge sword.
That's my first D&D character was like that. Not a centaur, but like the hilariously large sword.
Right.
The anime swords. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nyx is like realized that maybe he's unlocked like the way to Knott's brilliance, and it's so Nyx is gonna ask Knott's to maybe like, wow, this is really good. If you were to, I don't know, continue past what we've seen, what would you draw?
Oh, that's a really good question.
She like chews on the piece of charcoal for a moment, making her teeth all black.
Chris goes,
and she moves aside a piece of paper, and you see another drawing of her centaur character, like Naruto running. And there's like
but it's a centaur,
right? There's like dust and stuff flying around. Her mane is like blowing back majestically.
It's not her arms that are back though; it's her front legs.
Well, I think
running
Lauren,
so fast. Shows on
Lauren
her very
officially
hind
has to draw the centaur character now. You officially need to sketch
don't
this
do that to me. Do you know how hard
character.
portions I could draw?
I do. That's why you have to do it.
I haven't drawn my own satyr character because I'm scared of how their legs bend.
Oh, I love it. So she'll think about it and start drawing. Do you want me to roll a prescience check? Like,
Oh no! If you want it to be inaccurate, it's gonna be another knowledge check. You can add your tracker bonus again if you want to.
okay.
I'm going to see if I can assist.
Oh yeah,
just
you can
kind of
absolutely like point out things and add suggestions.
So can I use unlikely profit to?
You can spend a hope to allow them to roll a d6 that will be added to their roll.
Okay, I will do that.
And do you have paradise you can grant too?
I do.
Just
You can
just
do
in
that
case.
after the fact.
I
if
get
you
to do
wish.
it afterwards.
All right, here we go.
The help has to be provided beforehand. The prayer dice can be added after.
I mean, that is 23, 28
Nice.
with fear.
Not starts sketching out. First, you just get like where each of the tunnels were. You get these lightly sketched like tubes of the same size with like a bunch of the hotels just in like each of these 8 tubes. And then what's really weird, and you're not sure where this came from, it did not come from you, Nyx. Came straight from the brain of Knots, is that that in the bottom area, in the like customer service area, he draws. You didn't go inside at all, Astoy, but he draws like inside. There's like a room, and he draws this like circle on the ground, like in the room, and then he just starts sketching an entire replica of this space, and like just a whole other exact replica of what he's already drawn, like spreading out again, just like next to this one, not connected by a hallway, but there are these circles in the bottom area that, well, Grace looks at him and is like, what? Why did you draw a teleportation circle?
Oh,
Oh, so good.
What?
ooh.
I'm sorry, I blacked out. What did you say?
Well, in the like, I don't know, the government area or whatever at the bottom, you have that room there, and that looks like a teleportation circle. Why did you draw that? And then you see how you drew the exact same thing over there?
Right? I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, if this was a
Why
major...
is there teleportation circles in castles and centaurs?
To get from one place to another, do you think?
Sorry. Above table question. Teleportation circles in the Broken Spine, this Daggerheart world that we're building together.
They exist. They exist.
But are they tied to one another? Like, do they have addresses like
Yes.
Forgotten Realms? Okay.
Yeah. They do.
I mean, it sure saves time having to walk to all the different places when you can just, arrive and then go up somewhere else.
So, in this imaginary situation, you extended out this world as if we were playing Castles and Centaurs, and you decided that there would be a teleportation circle from this space to another space exactly like it. Is it also in the mountain?
I think you confused her.
Well, if you were running it, would it also be in the mountain?
Well, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be like, like next door. You don't know how teleports like your next door's neighbors. Oh, seeds walk there, but, a little further away. But, like, if they all lived underground, then it would teleport to, place underground, unless they, weren't all underground. That's really a twist question, because were there people from your mythology that went above ground before you got taller and grew antlers and weird things and went outside?
I don't know.
I I mean, maybe they went to the beach on vacation.
The beach is very far from here.
Well, but
I
it's
mean-
magic. Doesn't really matter, does it?
It wouldn't surprise me if they went outside. I just know that before that they were driven out of here, they were primarily, supposedly, below surface dwellers.
So probably underground. Although, if they were regular beachgoers, it would explain why they used the magic to keep the space clean, because getting sand out of areas is really problematic. And if they just had magic to do so, then it just saves time.
Yeah,
Sure.
if you say so.
I want
Do
to
you
go
think-
Well,
build out this campaign. What do you think?
I think if I were playing Flight Stella right now, she would probably want to go find out what.
I almost did that with a straight face. Oh.
Hey, this is all your fault, Jeremy. You did it. It's your fault. I just ran with it.
Oh boy. Oh god. Okay.
You only have yourself to blame.
Oh man.
Jeremy has recursed himself.
If I were playing Flight Stella right now, she would really want to go down and check out this teleportation circle that apparently is in the bottom of these spirals. Unless there was like a pit monster that also guarded teleportation circles. Not that that's what would come to my mind, but
The
Well-
teleportation circles seem to be the biggest point of interest so far. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some traps, but I think it's worth checking out.
Well, those are things that Knott's made up, Tris.
Wait, what?
We didn't see those yet. Those are just things he added for the game.
Yeah. Okay, well, should
I'm-
we go down and check out the area anyway?
Yeah.
Before we go, I want to make sure we've got the right exit. So it's one level from the top. Is there a good
Oh,
identifier?
you haven't gone up in this tunnel yet. You've only gone down.
No, remember I flew up earlier?
That was
That
in
was
the
in the
other
first
phase.
tunnel.
That was in the other one.
Sure, but in the other one,
He wants to know that we can get back, but we have a
Right.
map of where we've been, so we definitely can get
You
back.
have, yes. What he drew, sorry, what she drew, what Knots drew, was very accurate until she started drawing all the other stuff that could happen. They very conveniently were handed by Nyx a different color charcoal. So all the knots, all the knots imagination stuff are in a different color.
Okay.
On
I'm just-
their giant sketching.
yeah, I don't want to get lost in here and die, to be honest. Like,
Yeah,
I think we could be in here for years trying to find stuff.
True.
a good point.
I don't want to die in here even if we aren't lost. So let's just
I would
not. Let's just get
just
the
like to
dying.
Wait, this is a
part.
choice?
Damn, someone tell Court that.
Right? While this conversation is going on, I've picked a different colored charcoal and I start doodling kind of a Sarlacc style monster coming out of the bottom of the pit.
Oh no.
That's where they get rid of their trash.
Oh, this is a trash compactor.
I don't know. How do these
Uh,
people feed themselves? And I mean,
What does
A
it?
good-
From my memory of the sound, does it sound like,
A trash
or
compactor.
does it? Could the sound be coming from the same area as where the teleportation circle would be?
The general direction that you had, the answer is yes, but also where the teleportation circle was drawn seems closer than
The sound.
where you heard the sound.
Okay. I'm really trying to get a sense of like if there's any other than stone on stone or stones moving. Does it sound like This is really trying to figure the sound out. That's what's bothering me. Like, does it sound like a gear or something mechanical, like in that like kind of consistency, or does it sound like more organic?
Seems more organic, except for the fact that it's rock, which is why I said it reminded you more of the sounds that you associated with the mountain lion, the stone wraith, and less like mechanical in nature.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'm gonna head towards both the sound and the
heading down to the bottom of the tube.
As you begin walking, you hear and then the clatter of rolling dice.
Take that.
I don't know if now is the correct time for that.
I'm just waiting for the dice to start rolling down the ramp.
I don't.
You were all so very excited about what you were talking about. I just figured I'd just do a little solo session. It's Della versus the pit monster.
I'll get up and stuff my papers away.
Oh my god.
You guys can begin heading down the spiral path towards the bottom. The first spiral, like I said, just passes by more of these large open tunnels that give you the impression that they lead out to more tubes of living space. There are, like I said, there's about 4 to a loop. They are like slightly offset, so like the tunnel isn't exactly under the tunnel that you came out of. It is slightly offset, so it like points in a different direction. You guys make it down the 2 loops, and then you start seeing these larger variety of openings. Like at least the style of them is different. They're all about the same size, that like 12 foot tall like opening doorways. You pass by a couple. I mean, you don't have to go through the doorways. These are just on like the side of the path that open into like what could be like a restaurant. You see like tables and like a little hostess like pedestal. You walk by one that may look like a bar of some kind. It looks like just generally different kinds of just gathering places where people could interact.
I want to get messed up at the ancient giant bar.
And these continue for not a full loop before the path settles down onto the bottom level. This bottom level is, about 100 feet in diameter. Maybe a little larger, like the whole bottom, and it's a circular in shape. And across from where the path like ends into the bottom is a large opening, similar to some of the larger openings you've already seen, 15 foot tall, with like fancy, like Greek-esque architecture opening. And when you look in, you see some doorways off to either side, and a long like reception desk, and hallways that go back on either side of the reception desk when you enter into this. If you enter into this, but that's like what you can see from outside into the building.
And is
You're
this
at the bottom, and there's like what looks like a fountain. There's no water or anything running in it, but what looks like a fountain in the center of the bottom of this tube.
like the reception desk and all that stuff? Is it the same layout as the previous stuff we've seen? Different. Okay.
Nope, different layout.
Does everything still kind of have this like radial symmetry?
Well, everything that like when you were coming down seemed to have like a radial symmetry, but this building, there's no like mirror to it. Like you're at the bottom, and this building goes out, and it's this one building, but you can't tell from what you can see looking in the entryway if the building like extends around the.
Sure.
The
Is the
tube or
fountain
not.
circular?
Yes.
Okay. I like circles.
Apparently. Maybe that's just a really easy shape to make.
Maybe it's a fractal, and that really blows Nix's mind, and he's like completely fucked for a bit.
Oh my god. I feel like Triss is just like, if this operates the same way that the like skill that I know does with wood, curved shapes are easier than hard corners. So to her, she's just like, yeah, this makes sense, I guess. She also is a low knowledge character, so
Fair. Right there with you. There's no water in the fountain.
No, it just looks like what you guys think of as a fountain. Like it's raised up from the ground. It looks like it's got like a bench that goes around before it has like a lip that extends up higher, and then it's got like a sculpture in the middle, and it looks.
ooh, what
like,
does the sculpture look like?
Yeah.
It looks very much as if somebody tried to sculpt a splash of water out of stone.
Still
So
no
it-
indication of like what these people looked like.
Yeah.
Right.
What?
Unless this is what they look like.
So it could be a lot of things, right? It could be that this was wood, and then it got like turned into this very quickly. And the
Right.
water turned like what was happening with Knots. But Nix is still like really freaked. He's beginning to now feel like, wait, like Knots just drew this. What if this is just a drawing of a place that didn't get finished? And he's like really beginning to freak out. I'm gonna voluntarily take a stress.
I feel like Nyx is having like an existential crisis, and Triss is just sort of with an eye out for traps, making her way towards the government building.
I mean, this place
yeah.
is so wasteful.
Not if there were a lot of people living here.
Well, but even then, I mean, this many people in this tight of an area, they would have overwhelmed the local resources.
Unless they're eating one another. It's been known to happen.
They had the magic to create everything we've seen. I'm sure they had magic to assist in supplementing their food supply.
I mean, maybe.
First said they had teleportation circles. Sorry.
In your game, yeah.
Not Triss. Grace.
I mean, I know people who, through magic, can grow a sapling to a full fruit tree in a matter of weeks.
Yeah, that's cheating though. Like my dad says, like using magic to grow your crops is taking the hard way out. It kind of taints the flavor. I have to be honest, having had an Eddie Berry pie that my dad has made compared to Eddie Berry pies that have been made by druids and such, Well, you can tell. You can tell the difference. I'm just saying.
Okay.
That's nice nuts.
I feel like that's half of their interactions. Just
Right.
Uh-huh. All right. Anyway.
Well,
Yeah. You guys can move towards what seems to be like the government or, customer service or the information room.
It seems to be like the big central building, so it seems like one to check out.
You guys can totally head in that direction. As you guys step into the door, you notice that there are 3 doors on doorways, not doors, but doorways on either side. And there about like 40 feet in front of you, there is the like reception desk that has hallways that extend further back on either side of the reception desk.
let's check the desk again, just in case.
Tris pulls open drawers.
Yeah, you guys move back there. Once again, the actual like reception thing doesn't have any actual drawers. It just has like little cubbies, like where somebody could slide something in, but like no drawers. Like things weren't kept there on a regular basis. However, once again, on the back, there is a set of like very finely crafted like cabinets. And you open those drawers, and for once, they're not empty.
Ooh. What's in there?
So the
Bottle
first
caps.
couple, yeah, the first, like the top level of drawers are empty, but then you go down to the second level of drawers, and you open a drawer, and it seems like there's these stacks of, they look like bracelets of some kind, like replicas of the same like kind of bracelet. It looks like a opened bangle style, so it's got like knobs on either, it's got little knobs on either end with a space between it, and then it's like an open bangle of a kind. And they're all made out of the same stone. And in the first, so there's 4 drawers across. This is the first drawer on the left. You open it up, and there's about 10 of these bracelets like stacked into little slots. In this,
So it's like they're not
drawer.
just thrown in there. It's like this drawer is made to store them.
Correct.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
If you open up all the other drawers across this level, they are all filled with about 10 bracelets, but they look to be in slightly different sizes.
Oh. I pick one up.
You go to take one out of the slot, and you can't take it. It won't come out of the slot.
Can I try and infuse magic into it, like I was doing to the runes to get it out?
You can absolutely try. Give me a spellcast roll.
I used all my prayer dice already. I'm gonna spend a hope to use Heart Guardian. Because I've just been throwing that at every weird mystical thing I've done in here.
Don't forget to look at what your Seraph Hope function is. You can spend 3 hope to refresh one
Or
of
reroll,
your.
yeah.
Yeah, but she already used them, so she could refresh one of your prayer dice if you want to.
And they were all 4s, so.
Yeah. Let's see.
I just wanted to remind you. I didn't know if you realized that was one of your abilities.
I saw the reroll. I didn't see the refresh. That's 15.
I'll use a prayer die to add
Oh,
3 more.
thank you. So 18.
With?
Oh, with hope by 1.
Great, you can take that hope, and you can say thank you to Nyx for his
thank
prayer
you.
dice. Yeah, because you push your magic in like you had been into the sigils, to the runes, and there is a soft flash of golden light, and the bracelet exits its slot.
Ooh. Yeah, just give it a look over, and then probably pass it to Grace to be like, is there anything weirdly magical about this?
Yeah, so you look it over and you can see that while the flash, like, it was a flash of light and then it like diminished, you can now see these small, like, veins of golden,
Ooh.
like, looks like, you know, like as if you came upon a vein of gold in stone,
Mhm.
just like across and all over the bracelet. And you notice that it looks like that like runic language that you've been seeing, like is like etched and crisscrossed all over the bracelet. You can't tell what it says, but it is like all encompassing, like all over, lots of tiny runes blended together as these veins of gold are across the bracelet. You move to hand it over to Grace, and as soon as you let go, the veining disappears and the bracelet flashes away, and you see it reappear back in the drawer.
Oh, what? Okay. I
Interesting.
think Triss is like, huh?
It looks like there's something strangely magical about that bracelet.
Yes.
What? No.
How big? What are the? You mentioned there was various sizes.
Yeah.
Just
So just
looking at-
like it. Yeah, like looking at them, it looks like, you know, there would be sizes for, you know, if you were putting this on a standard human level, there would be sizes for men, women, children. Like there's like a range of about 5 sizes that get from large, which is the size that Triss pulled out, which would be pretty tight on Triss, would barely fit on her wrist, to the smallest sizes would be a little big on knots.
Okay.
Did you give the wrong size? Because it would be large to Grace.
Or you just can't give it away once
Right.
it's.
I'm honestly not sure.
Do you remember what the runes looked like?
Can I try and get the bracelet again, and then I can continue holding it, just hold it up for everybody to look at?
Yeah, you can give me another spellcast roll.
Oh boy. Alright, Heart Guardian again, spending hope.
With advantage.
Let's go. Wait, have I been rolling a d10 this whole time?
That'd be pretty funny.
I have been. I haven't gotten over an 8, so... Oh no, I've just been completely wrong. I've been rolling a d8 and a d10, not a d12. My brain works.
Wow.
Well, you figured
There are
it out
10
now.
minutes left in this session. No wonder I've been rolling so terribly.
What did you get?
In my defense, I've been at Halloween parties for like a week straight. I haven't even rolled, I just was looking at the dice and I went, huh. Jesus. Okay, let's try that one again.
Remember, you do have advantage,
hmm
so you can add a d6.
Okay. I'm gonna roll my tiny dice. Okay, I just rolled far better than I have this entire game. They weren't even the same die. That's a 23.
With
Sorry, 25 with fear.
okay, yeah, you once again put your hand on the bracelet. Flashes gold. You pick it up, and you can see the runic golden veining.
Yeah.
all
Without letting it
over
go
the
now, I'll hold it
bracelet.
up for other people to look at.
Well, let me try something then. I'll see if there's a band that'll fit me in there.
Oh yeah, one of the the smallest size looks like it would fit
Okay.
you.
All right, I will spend a hope for what's that and try to take one.
Yeah, give me a spellcast roll.
Okay. "27 with hope."
Yeah, there is a flash of that golden color, and you pull a bracelet out, and it's got the same golden veining.
Does
Oh,
the
across it.
wording seem to be the same as what's on Trist's?
You set them side by side, and it looks the same.
Okay.
I wonder if these will allow us access to more of the building.
And maybe the entrance and exits that we couldn't come through.
That as well, yeah.
Maybe the fountains and the lights and the food and the bar.
If only. Could use a good drink right now.
Or maybe just the teleportation circle.
That... We still haven't found an actual teleportation circle.
We haven't. Yeah, we haven't.
No.
Okay.
No, you've literally just gone behind the.
Tris like perked up and then remembered that Not just made that up and was like, oh fuck.
You will notice that the light is getting just slowly dimmer as you're all doing this. And Not's hyper focus has set in, and she's now spread her map back out. And the fireflies are now like moving around on the map like they're characters.
Oh
Not
my
all
God.
of them.
Absolutely.
Several of them are flying around. But there are some.
Oh yeah. Knots is fully playing out a solo session of castles and centaurs on the map of the area that you guys are
Oh
in.
my god. I think Tris like, Knots, save it for camp. Come see if you can get a bracelet.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Well, maybe we should see if... Because we've got doors that are closed, right? 3 of them?
Well, there's no doors.
Okay, just
Just
entryways.
doorways. Yeah.
Maybe we should see if we can find like one of those sigils first
Alright.
and like test.
Not a
What
bad
is
idea.
your concern?
Not a concern to see if these actually do anything, like let us use things without forcing it with magic.
I'm gonna try and get a bracelet.
Yeah. Absolutely. One of the middle sizes looks like it would fit you.
I critted.
Hey.
Nice.
Oh, then there is a flash of gold, and you pull out a bracelet, and
Hey.
you clear a stress and take hope.
Nice.
Yay.
Grace will attempt to get a bracelet if somebody wants to give me a duality roll,
Gotcha.
and you can add a +5 to that, please.
25.
With hope or fear.
With fear.
Okay. Yeah, there's a flash of light, and she has also grabbed a bracelet.
It's just Knots now.
Yeah, who like you were like, come get a bracelet. She's like, huh, what? And then no one really kind of directed her thought process, and so she's gone back and is like scribbling notes.
I'll say loot.
Odd or even.
Odd. She's odd as fuck.
Her ears pop up, and she turns and looks at you. What?
Behind? Oh, that's pretty. You each have one. Where did you get those?
We found stuff in the drawers. Come get one.
Okay. What?
What am I rolling?
Spellcast roll, which for you is
Okay.
agility.
Do you want an assist?
Sure.
All right. Give you hope.
Yeah, you can
for an
spend.
assist.
You can add a d6 to your roll.
Well, that was probably good. 18 with hope.
Yeah. There's a flash of gold as you pull one of the smaller bracelets out of the slot. You now have a bracelet, one of these stone bracelets with gold veining with runic patterns on it.
I like it.
Yeah, it tingles.
Does it tingle more than the wallet?
Nope.
Okay.
Well,
Science.
it's the true geologist way. Lick the rock.
Right.
I think Trish will kind of put hers on and be like, well, let's see what these things do.
Oh, you don't even know what it does? And I put this on my arm. What if it was like one of those things that saws your arm off when you put it on there? Like those cursed items? No. Oh. Anyway, I made that up for my game. Sorry.
You notice that when you guys put the bracelets on, it does resize to
Okay.
tightly fit on
Nice.
your wrist.
Can we take it off after? Keeping it in hand, though.
So you, without doing anything specific, if you try to take it off, it doesn't seem to come off. With just like a regular, just kind of, fiddling pull off. It doesn't seem to come off.
All right. Well, I'm not going to freak knots out at the moment, so I'll just okay.
Yeah, that's actually how Izella's first traveling companion Blast lost his arm because he put his arm in one of those things and severed it. And he couldn't grow it back because he wasn't, like a tool or anything like that. And so he ended up retiring. But he actually opened up a very nice inn and is making quite the living.
I imagine this is Nuts just chatting about her campaign
yeah.
as we start moving further into the building.
Absolutely.
Well, I think right now you guys are. This is totally for sure her just chatting as you guys all put the bracelets on and figure out that just tugging at them will not take them off, although Knots is not informed. But I feel like this is a good place to leave off as you guys are still just at these drawers behind the reception area of the government building.
We
in
got
this
some unknown magic bracelets.
Love it.
weird place.
Oh,
And I feel like one of these
boy.
days we're gonna have to have a one shot of castles and centaurs
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
as we play through one of Knotz's games.
Yes.
Amazing.
Anyway, why don't we do a round of outros and tell us what you got coming up?
Yeah.
Anyone can jump in on that one.
Well, we got Hunter tomorrow,
We do have Hunter tomorrow,
and then on
Nice.
Sunday we've got Centaurs and Castles run by Tiny Tina. I mean Knots.
right?
Oh my god. You have to DM the entire session, but with the Knots voice filter.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to do like Grog's one shot, but it's Knots.
Oh no.
I love it. Nice. Yeah, so tomorrow night, 8 p.m. here Eastern on this channel, we have the next episode of Hunter Bad Blood, to which almost everyone on the screen will be back for that. We're not quite at the end, but things are coming to a head. We will see. I was foretelling 8 episodes, and you're on 6, I think, or 7. So I think you're gonna go a little over, but we'll see. Anyone have any other games coming up or stuff they want to share?
This was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks
Yeah.
for breaking my character's psyche.
Hooray!
Look, guys, it's not like I'm just making this up as I go along.
Amazing.
Just to antagonize your characters.
I've been there. Oh my god.
Well, head over and follow all of the wonderful people on your screen at the links that are in chat. We're going to raid over to Folk and Myth, who are playing some 10 Candles right now. Jason, what were you saying?
Ooh, love that.
I was going to say we should mention that Folk and Myth and Superior Adventures Guild have the charity
do.
streams going on.
Yeah, Phoenix
fun.
Wacky, Guild Superior, and Folk and Myth are all doing a 10-day fundraiser. So make sure you follow them when we head over there. The current game that they're doing isn't part of the charity, but you can still donate anyway. And just make sure you follow them and get notified on what they have going on. Thanks everybody for playing tonight. It was good to see you, and thank you all for joining us for this game. Hang out while we raid, and we will see you next Friday for the next episode. Bye.
Take care, everybody.